Hello and welcome to Compliance Briefs on EU TARIC system. This presentation covers the TARIC system, explaining what it is, how to access and search the TARIC, and how it functions in international trade and customs procedures. We will explore how TARIC works, its structure, and how to effectively use it for identifying applicable import, export controls and tariff classification. Through a scenario-based approach, we will demonstrate how to search for tariff information and import, export controls using both HS codes and product names. The presentation includes two video demonstrations. The first showcases how to search using an HS code, while the second illustrates how to navigate the system when only the product name is available. Additionally, some important information are provided concerning this scenario-basis presentation. TARIC is the European Union's integrated tariff database, providing detailed information on customs duties, import-export restrictions, trade policies, and other regulatory measures for products entering or leaving the EU. Its primary purpose is to serve as a central reference tool for businesses and customs authorities to ensure compliance with EU trade regulations. TARIC helps users identify the correct tariff classification for goods, check applicable customs duties and taxes, and understand import and export restrictions such as quotas, licensing requirements, or bans. When entering the TARIC, in the web address indicating in the slide, users can search for information in two ways. By product name, suitable for general searches but may return multiple results. By HS code, provides the most accurate and detailed information. This image represents the hierarchical structure of the harmonized system, HS, and the combined nomenclature, CN, used for classifying goods in international trade. The first two digits, 1 to 2, indicate the HS chapter, followed by the next two digits, 3 to 4, representing the HS heading. The next two digits, 5 to 6, define the HS subheading, while the 7th and 8th digits, 7 to 8, specify the CN subheading used in the European Union. The last two digits, 9 to 10, represent the TARIC subheading, which provides further classification for EU customs regulations. This system ensures uniform classification and tariff application for goods. Before we begin our scenario-based presentation, it's essential to provide additional details about the symbols you may encounter while navigating the TARIC system. When checking whether a specific code has import or export restrictions, you will notice right-facing and left-facing arrows next to the country you are searching for. A right-facing arrow signifies the measures imposed on imports into the EU. A left-facing arrow signifies the measures imposed on exports from the EU. These symbols help quickly identify trade restrictions and regulations associated with specific goods. To effectively use the TARIC system, we will walk you through a video presentation that demonstrates how to search for tariff information using a sample scenario. In this example, we will explore two methods, searching with an HS code and searching by product name. The demonstration will guide you through the TARIC system, showing how to navigate sections, identify the correct classification, and check applicable restrictions and trade policies. Caviar Deluxe Limited, a Cyprus-based company, specializes in importing luxury food products from Northern Europe and Asia. A firm licensed by ICPAC offers administrative and accounting services. During a routine transaction review, the accounting department identifies an outgoing payment of €6,500 to a bank account in Russia. Upon inquiry, the client provides an invoice linked to the purchase of goods as part of the company's standard operations. However, this raises important compliance questions. Is the invoice alone sufficient for verification? Should additional checks be conducted to ensure compliance and due diligence? Are the imported goods subject to any EU import-export controls? This presentation will not cover the entire due diligence process, but will rather focus on determining whether the goods involved require special import-export authorization. Using the TARIC system, we will demonstrate how to classify products and identify any applicable tariff measures, restrictions, or regulatory controls for compliance purposes. When reviewing an invoice, it is crucial to check several key details to ensure compliance with import-export controls. First, verify the destination of the goods. While the invoice may be issued to a company registered in Cyprus, the actual delivery location could be different, potentially affecting other applicable trade regulations. Additionally, a waybill should be provided to confirm shipping details. Next, check the issue date of the invoice, as import-export controls may not have been in force at the time of issue but could apply at the dispatch date. If an HS code is provided, it simplifies the process of identifying applicable tariff measures and trade restrictions through the TARIC system. Otherwise, classification can be determined based on the product name. Lastly, review the price of the goods, as certain import-export restrictions may apply beyond specific value thresholds. In this example, the HS code is provided, box 3, making it easier to identify any applicable measures using the TARIC system. However, this presentation will also explore the scenario where the HS code is not available, demonstrating how to navigate the TARIC system using only the product name. In this example, the invoice includes the HS code, enabling a faster verification process through the TARIC system. To begin, access the TARIC system website, link provided on the slide. The TARIC consultation consists of 3 main tabs: the Measures tab, Default tab, for searching applicable trade measures, the Geographical Area tab to define the country of origin or destination, and the Regulation tab for legal references related to specific measures. If the HS code is known, the search can be conducted exclusively via the Measures tab. In this example, we will select Measures as the search category, enter the HS code in the Goods Code field, set the reference date based on the invoice issue date, and click Retrieve Measures to view the applicable duties, taxes, and restrictions. To provide a clearer and more precise demonstration, a video presentation will follow, outlining the exact steps to take when the HS code is known. This visual guide will walk through the TARIC system, ensuring a better understanding of the process. Access the TARIC consultation tool. Check the HS code on the invoice. Enter this code in the Goods Code field. Add the invoice issue date in the Reference Date field. Retrieve the applicable measures. Identify relevant section and code. The relevant section is Section 4, covering prepared foodstuffs. The specific HS code in question is 160,431, related to caviar. Assess import controls for Russian origin goods. From our due diligence, we identified the supplier as a Russian company. We need to check if any import controls apply. Scroll down to locate Russian Federation in the TARIC database. A right-facing arrow indicates import control measure is in effect from the 19th of December, 2023 to the 31st of December, 2025, meaning it applies to this shipment. Examine the specific measures. Click on the link reference, CD868, to access the applicable footnote. The measure states it shall be prohibited to purchase, import, or transfer directly or indirectly goods which generate significant revenues for Russia, thereby enabling its actions destabilizing Ukraine. These goods, listed in Annex 21, are restricted if they originate from or are exported from Russia. Derogations. Competent authorities may authorize the import of Annex 21 goods under specific conditions, such as civil nuclear operations, e.g., fuel supply, maintenance, and safety. Production of medical radioisotopes. Environmental radiation monitoring. Civil nuclear research and development. Reference: Council Regulation, EU, 833/2014, Article 3I, as amended by Council Regulation, EU, 2022-576. To delve deeper, we need to examine Article 3I of Council Regulation 833/2014 to understand its specific provisions. For the purposes of this presentation, we will retrieve the regulation using a search engine. When accessing the regulation, verify the regulation in force on the invoice date. Search for the version of the regulation in force as of the 19th of December, 2023. Locate Article 3I within the regulation to review the exact legal text. Check the annex referenced in Article 3I to determine whether the product is included. Since caviar is listed in Annex 21, the Cyprus-based company cannot import this product into Cyprus, an EU member state, unless a condition applies. To examine the conditions, return to the TARIC system and click the Show Conditions link to check whether any conditions or exemptions apply that would permit the import. A table appears with references to the possibly applicable conditions and the relevant documentation to be provided for the import to be allowed. How to read the conditions. The references are explained in the section Additional Information, Documents, Produced Certificates and Authorizations. Remember that the conditions are mutually exclusive, meaning that only one could apply. In this example, the first condition refers to paragraph 3C of Article 3I and can be further examined by consulting the regulation. It should be read as follows: if an import authorization has been granted based on paragraph 3C of Article 3I of Regulation 833/2014 and has been presented at Customs, then import is allowed. For further guidance on how to interpret the conditions, click the specific help link on the TARIC website. We will now present a second example demonstrating how to search for tariff information when the HS code is not available, but the product name is provided. This will guide you through the steps needed to classify the product accurately using the TARIC system. In this example, let's assume the HS code is not provided, and we only have the product name listed on the invoice. To determine the correct HS code, we start by browsing the nomenclature. This redirects us to the sections where products and services are categorized. Our first step is to identify which section our product falls under. In this case, the product belongs to the Prepared Foodstuffs section. Next, we click on this section to reveal the chapters it contains. Since we are looking for a product related to fish, we identify Chapter 16, which covers such items. Expanding this chapter, we look for our specific product caviar. Caviar falls under subheading 1604. By selecting this subheading, we can further refine our search and identify the specific HS code, 160431. Clicking on this code redirects us back to the initial page, allowing us to continue our search as outlined in the previous example. For additional assistance with TARIC, please use the Help and FAQ buttons available within the TARIC consultation system. In this scenario, we have focused solely on the process of checking an invoice. However, it is equally important to review other supporting documents, such as waybills and purchase agreements, as they may contain crucial details about the origin, destination, and movement of goods, ensuring a more comprehensive verification process. In addition, it is important to review whether any licenses were required for the import or export of this product, where applicable, as specified in TARIC or the applicable EU regulation. It is also essential to verify that the HS code stated on the documentation matches the actual product description. There have been instances where HS codes used on invoices did not accurately reflect the product, sometimes intentionally by referencing codes without any import or export restrictions, thereby misleading those conducting due diligence. I hope you found this useful. For any queries, you may contact us via email at compliance@icpac.org.cy. Thank you and goodbye.